Well, hello, welcome back. Yes, I'm happy that you're joining me today for this really interesting and very fun workbook lesson. No, I could say that about all of them. And if you've done this before, and this is maybe your second or third or 27th time through this material, then undoubtedly you'll be able to say this about every lesson at some point, no matter what it may bring up for you. And let me just say a couple of words here before we launch right into it. Whatever's coming up for you, if it seems troubling, if it seems disturbing, like it's shit that you don't want to see, then you're doing this right. Aren't you? Right? If we experience crap, drama, things about ourselves that we would rather keep hidden, keep buried away or off to the side somewhere in a dark chest that we forget about for years. Yeah, we know that this practice brings those to light. Literally, in A Course in Miracles, this is what is meant by bringing your illusions, your trunk full of crap, to the truth. Bringing all of the skeletons, all of the psychodrama, all of the mean-spirited things that you'd prefer to keep hidden. You're unearthing them and bringing them to the light. This is bringing illusions to the truth. This is bringing that trunk full of drama to the light. That's what we're doing. That's what we're all about. So to the extent that these ideas and the practice periods and the non-dual, pure non-dual nature of this course threatens the ego, good. This is not all supposed to be blissful rainbows and clouds. I mean, you're still here, right? If you wanted purely blissful rainbows and clouds, you would have chosen something else, because there's a lot of that out there. There are a lot of different people in the world that want only that from the spiritual path. Well, the true spiritual path is all about that trunk full of drama. It's all about bringing our illusions to the truth. It's bringing our own shit to light, if you prefer. So lesson 228 in the workbook is one of those ideas that may trigger some of this. God has condemned me not. No more do I. God has condemned me not. No more do I. God has never condemned me or damned me or labeled me a sinner worthy of punishment and death, unworthy of his love, dirty, right? He's never labeled me that way. No more do I means, quite simply, I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. Because I've had enough of that go round. I've had enough of that game, and I'm done. No more do I. This is a powerful declaration. If all you do today is remember this idea, God has condemned me not, no more do I. God, being love, knows no opposites, no different layers of so-called reality. In other words, nothing that's in your trunk, nothing that's buried away in a dark recess of your mind. Love knows only itself, and it does not condemn. never has, does not now, and never will. Now, you may have been raised in a fundamentalist tradition. I was raised in two of them, in fact. Not in those environments anymore. Maybe you aren't either, or maybe in fact you're actually looking at this material and you're on your way out of one of those environments, which is a situation that I know plenty of people find themselves in. Yeah. God, being perfect love, does not have an ego. God does not have an ego to be worshiped, and being perfect love, no ego whatsoever. There's no condemnation. We've never earned God's condemnation. It's impossible. There is no sin. You may have been told otherwise repeatedly. And I certainly was. So, to the degree that you're willing to hear this idea today, excellent. To the degree that you're willing to allow this truth to become a part of your life and experience, even better still. It's entirely up to you, of course. All of this is. All of this is. Everyone hears the call. Not everyone answers. So, when we've viewed ourselves as separate and cut off, as sinners, as worthy of punishment according to our own dictates, not God's, that's our self. This is us judging us. Yeah. Let's stop. This second sentence here in the idea of the day, no more do I, means I'm stopping. I'm cutting this shit off today. I've had enough and I'm done. This is a declaration of freedom. Now, I invite you to read both paragraphs here. The second one is the italicized prayer, which is particularly powerful. In this idea, we're acknowledging that all of the drama that we take to be ourselves is in fact just a mistake. We're not sinners. We've simply made a mistake. That's all. We may be experiencing resistance, and perhaps you're experiencing extraordinary resistance. Perhaps it's intermittent, but whatever your situation is, the ego resists the idea that we're perfect the way we are. It wants to find blame. It wants to judge. Now, the perfection that I just referenced is who we really are. It's not the body. It's not the ego. Body's not perfect, doesn't last. I mean, no matter how ripped, no matter how fit we are, no matter how young and hot and stylish and sexy, the damn thing doesn't last, right? And it's quite useless to pretend that it does. Yeah. Who we really are is beyond all of this. It's beyond even words. It's beyond concepts entirely. Now, everyone comes to A Course in Miracles from a very diverse and different place. Perhaps you were raised in a fundamentalist tradition that you're getting away from, or you have gotten away from, and perhaps not. Perhaps this is something, some material that simply intrigues you, which is great. Yeah, it's great. However, you've come to this material, there is so much beauty in these ideas if you decide to practice them. Now, if you've gone straight through, this is lesson 228, you've clearly decided to practice them. You've clearly decided at some point that this curriculum is worth going through at least once. Even if you reach lesson 365 and you say, well, I'm glad I did that once, you will have set yourself on a course for complete awakening. Whether that happens in this lifetime or not really doesn't make any difference. Your simple exposure to this material sows seeds. This is true of all authentic spiritual traditions. Now, what do I mean by authentic? Well, I mean those that aim to help us disidentify with the ego, leave that aside. That's a whole lot of them. Most, yeah, most. So that said, it doesn't make any difference whether A Course in Miracles is your primary source of practice or not. It doesn't matter. It can be something that you study in passing. You're doing that sows seeds, and this material being non-dual, being universal, will positively affect your current journey. It will impact your walk positively. It sows seeds that we may not even be consciously aware of, that ripen in time and bear fruit in time. Now, maybe that's in 15 minutes. Maybe that's in 15 years. I don't know. Could be in another lifetime. But if you do nothing else today, please give some thought to today's idea. God has condemned me not. No more do I.